Srei Infrastructure announced their numbers a while back. The consolidated net profits came in at 28 crores versus 41 crores on a year-on-year basis. And the NII has gone up slightly to 244 crores versus 205 odd crores. Hemant Kanoria, the chairman and managing director of the company, joins us now. Hemant, hi afternoon. If you can just take us through what the quarterly performance has been and what's the sense you're getting about the second half of the year?
Yeah, actually our profit for the first half year, this particular financial year, has been 92 crore compared to 88.46 crore which was there last fiscal in the same period. And the disbursement also has, the consolidated income has been 1770 crore against 1604 crore. And the disbursement this particular half year has been 6,595 crore against 5,900 crore which was there last year. The total asset under management is almost the same. It remains at 34,400. Last year in the same period it was 34,350. So more or less it remains the same. And for the quarter, the disbursement has been 3,300 crore against 2,400 crore which was there in the previous quarter. The overall performance, if we look at it, we were expecting that the profits would be better. But in spite of the fact that the new government has been announcing a lot of growth potential seems to be there in the infrastructure sector, and the government is also taking a lot of steps to suggest that what they need to be doing there, whether it be power, roads and all. But on the grounds, we have still not seen things happening. It will take some time, so therefore we had given an indication right in the first quarter also that it will be about in the last quarter of this financial year or the next financial year, things will start picking up in the infrastructure sector.
So what was the gross NPAs this time? Last quarter you did see some improvement in your asset quality. It's come back to sub 3%, but what was it this quarter?
See, basically what happened was that we have two companies, Srei Infrastructure Finance and the Srei Equipment Finance. In Srei Infrastructure Finance, this quarter it was better, but there was a slide in the Srei Equipment Finance because many of the construction companies and contractors primarily, they were expecting release of funds from the government, which has not happened, so which has also stressed their cash flows, and so therefore there has been some lag in the payments coming from there, because it's almost estimated almost about 3 lakh crore of the contractors and construction companies is stuck up in various bills with the governments which needs to be released. And I think that once that happens, then the stress with the construction companies will reduce, and that will enable them to pay back their loans along with interest to a certain extent to the banks and institutions. So that is where the stress point is there at this juncture.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, Hemant, clearly what the sense we're getting from talking to you and talking to others is that while sentiment has picked up beautifully, it really hasn't translated to much on the ground. So why do you think that hasn't happened as yet? When do you see that happening, and what more can the government do?
See, basically there are certain things which is not bringing in new policies. It is that the implementation and wherever the hurdles are there needs to be removed. So therefore, let us suppose that if we talk about the Land Acquisition Act which has been there, so that needs to be revised to be made more practical. So wherever projects are stuck up because they do not have the land, that needs to be facilitated. Environment clearances have started, but I think that it needs to pick up more. Power sector, we all know that there is a lot of problem in the power sector because the coal issues have still not got resolved. The government would be coming out with auction of mines, but whether that is going to solve all the problems or not, it has to be seen. I don't think so that just allocating coal mines will be the panacea to all the problems that the power sector is facing. There are other problems also which needs to be sorted out, and it should be done ASAP. Similarly, in the roads also, BOT projects and EPC projects need to be announced. The government has all the right intentions and they're making all the right, they're taking all the right actions. But still, it takes time for that to happen, to translate on the ground level. And taxation issue still remains to be a big fear for all resident business people and overseas also, because everyone has the apprehension that if they are investing, what is going to happen with retrospective taxes and what
Right.
will be
But the government has given assurances. So what more would industry want, Hemant?
Yeah, you see that it is not assurances. People want to see that it is there also in words, because if those guidelines do not come and if action, so I'm just expressing to you that
Sure.
it's not that the international investors are not interested. Everyone is interested in coming into India, but they
want
still
clarity.
want to see that these particular guidelines, yeah, they want clarity, because putting in a lot of money and then they again find that they are in a problem. So no one wants to again go through the same experience. Even resident business people, the industrialists, etc., they are going a little slow, because everyone, either they are stressed or they want to see clarity coming in many of the sectors. So I'm not saying that I'm not sanguine about it. I'm quite sanguine about it, and I
But you want more action on the
expect that
ground.
in the last quarter of this financial year. Yeah. So things on the ground must happen, and I think that practical approach needs to be taken instead of just having new policies, new acts. So I think that we have had too many acts but less of action. So I think that we need to reverse that now.
Okay, let's talk about some numbers then. You said in the first half of the year you did about 6,500 crores worth of disbursements. What is the target like for the second half?
We should be in a position to maintain that, if not increase it, because it again depends upon if we see that new road construction projects are getting announced in this particular quarter, because the government has said last week also. So then we'll see pickup of equipments in the last quarter of this particular financial year. And if we see more BOT projects getting announced, and again we can see further disbursement happening in the last quarter. But I don't see that this particular quarter, the third quarter, I think would be more of a plateau. And whatever pickup happens would start happening from the last quarter only.
Okay. Can you just, I know we keep asking you this question every interview, but any update on when the Vyom sale will take place, how much you plan to raise via that sale, and basically what kind of a ballpark timeline that you're looking at?
It's very difficult to express timelines, because in the infrastructure sector, as I mentioned, that people are excited about India now, and Mr. Modi has gone all over the world and reassured people that India is one of the best destinations in the world to invest in, and there is a huge growth potential. But things on the ground needs to start happening, and people must get that confidence. So therefore, I think that investors are still waiting to see that when that starts happening, and then actual money will start flowing in. So today, if we see, the stock market is doing very well, but at the same time, if we look at it, the FDI investments have not increased substantially. So I think that there would be still a wait for about a couple of quarters before we exactly know that what is going to happen. There are people who are excited about it, but everyone is on a wait and watch mode.
So when you say couple of quarters, are we looking at closing this deal or this sale in the first half of calendar year 2015?
No, we are trying to see that if we can close it within this financial year only, because we still have the quarter which we are, the ensuing quarter plus the next quarter.
And are you looking at an India listing for Vyom anytime soon?
India listing seems to be a little difficult at this particular juncture. I think that we would look at the overseas opportunities only.
Okay, so you're ruling on any listing, overseas or Indian, it's only a sale then?
No, it would be a dilution. So it would be basically a dilution, which could be with partial sale.
Could it be an overseas listing?
So all these are basically, maybe, so because basically it is all work in progress at this juncture.
Okay. As we speak, your stock is down almost about 3%. There have been some weak trends that we've seen this time around in the numbers. But the last time when we spoke with you, you said that, or rather you believe that the asset quality is at its worst and things will only pick up from here on. Is that the sense you're getting now as well? Or do you think that you could go through a couple of quarters of weak performance before it troughs out?
I think there are two parts of it. The asset quality diminution is not taking place. What is happening is that because we have financing to construction companies and contractors, and we are adequately secured by way of equipment and collaterals, but they have a pressure on their cash flow because the government funding is not getting released to them. And that is why there are delays, and because of the NPA provisioning norm, etc., whatever provisioning we are doing, it will not result in write-offs, but because of the lags in the quarters, because of payments not coming on time, that is why the NPA increases. But we don't see that there would be any kind of depreciation in the quality of portfolio.
All right, Hemant, we leave it at that. Thank you for joining us and giving us those details. That's the word coming in from Srei Infra.